Hello, my dear students. A very warm welcome to all of you. Today, we're going to learn about a very important topic for your English exam. Something that can help you score really well. Choreography writing. ఈ రోజు మనం choreography writing అనే విషయాన్ని నేర్చుకుని పరీక్షలో మంచి మార్కులు ఎలా సాధించాలో చూద్దాం.
Now, you might be wondering, why is this so important? Well, have a look at this. This one single question, question number 14 in your exam paper, is worth a full 10 marks. That's a huge deal, right? ఈ ఒక ప్రశ్నకి 10 మార్కులు ఉన్నాయి. అందుకే ఇది చాలా ముఖ్యమైనది.
So here's our plan for today's class. We are going to break it all down into 6 simple parts. We'll start from the beginning, understand what it is, learn a special template for getting full marks, and even practice with an example. If you follow along by the end of this lesson, you will feel super confident about getting those 10 marks. ఈ 6 భాగాలు పూర్తి అయ్యేసరికి ఆ 10 మార్కులు మీ చేతిలో ఉంటాయి.
Okay, let's begin with our first section. In your exam paper, this question is part of what's called major discourses. Now, that sounds complicated, but it just means it's one of the big, detailed questions. And here's the best part. You get an internal choice, so you can choose the one you feel most prepared for. Idi major discourse, ande pedda prashna. Kani, meeke internal choice untundi. Now for the fun part. What exactly is choreography writing? Before I give you the textbook definition, just think about your school's annual day function. You've probably seen a dance or a little play based on a poem or a song, right? How do they do that? How do they turn words into actions on a stage? మీ school annual day function lo పాటలకు dance చేయడం చూసారా? అదే అలాంటి performance గురించి all attention D. Well, that's exactly what this is. You are basically the director of a small play. The poem is your script, and your job is to write down a plan for how to perform that poem on stage, thinking about the actors' movements, their facial expressions, the background music, and even the lights. Ante, మీరు ఒక poem ki director laga, stage మీద నటులు ఏం చేయాలి, సంగీతం ఎలా ఉండాలి, lighting ఎలా ఉండాలో plan చేస్తారు. But why do we do this? What's the point? Well, the goal is to bring the poem to life. When you read a poem, you understand it with your mind, but when you see it performed, you feel its emotions with your heart. It helps the audience connect with the deep feelings and the hidden meaning behind the poet's words. అక్షరాలు కథని చెప్తాయి, కానీ నటన ఆ కథలో ఉన్న భావాన్ని మనకు అనుభవింపజేస్తుంది. All right, now this is the most important part of our lesson today. This is the secret formula to get a perfect 10 out of 10. There's a specific structure, a template that the examiners are looking for. If you follow this, they will know you understand the topic perfectly. Full marks kosam, parikshadikaruలు ఎదురుచూసే ఈ template ni manam follow avali. Please take a good look at this layout and remember it. You have to write your answer with these exact headings in this exact order. We start with the title and the theme. Then, we introduce the characters. After that, we describe the stage setting. And finally, we explain the actual performance step by step in the sequence of presentation. It's a very logical flow. ఈ వరుస క్రమం చాలా సులభం. పేరు, సారాంశం, పాత్రలు, స్థలం, తరువాత నటన. Okay, so we have the template now. But how do you actually use it in the exam hall when you see the question paper? Let's go through the thinking process step by step so you know exactly what to do. Template తెలిసింది కదా? ఇప్పుడు examలో అది ఎలా రాయాలో నేర్చుకుందాం. Here are 6 simple steps for writing a perfect script. 1. Read the poem very carefully to understand its main idea and feeling. 2. Identify the characters and always remember to include a narrator. 3. Imagine the setting. What does the stage look like? 4. Divide the performance into 3 scenes, a beginning, a middle, and an end. 5. Add details like music and costumes to create the right mood. And 6. Describe the movements and facial expressions, because that's what tells the story. ఈ 6 steps జాగ్రత్తగా గమనించండి. చదవడం, పాత్రలు, స్థలం, దృశ్యాలు, సంగీతం, మరియు నటన. Okay, enough of theory. Let's see how this all works in practice. We are now going to look at a solved example right from your textbook. This is where we'll put our template and our 6 steps to use. This is where it all comes together. ఇప్పుడు మనం నేర్చుకున్న విషయాలను ఒక ఉదాహరణతో చూద్దాం. The poem we're going to work with is Another Woman. Listen to these lines carefully. Bound hand and foot. Scars on her body, bruises on her soul. Wow, you can really feel the deep sadness and pain in these words, can't you? This is the mood we must create on stage. It padallo yento బాధ ఉంది. ఆ భావాన్ని మనం స్టేజ్ మీద చూపించాలి. Now, before I show you the model answer, I want you to think for a moment. Just for a few seconds, you be the director. How would you show this pain on a stage? Who would be the characters? What actions would they do? Just take a moment and imagine. Meeru director aithe, Shani stage mida ella chupistaro. Alochinchanడి. Okay, let's start writing our answer using our template. First, the title. That's easy. It's another woman. Next, the theme. When you read words like scars and bruises on her soul, what is the main idea? It's clearly about the suffering of a woman due to domestic violence. Title, Another Woman, Anirayali. Theme, Antimukya Visham, Gruha Himsawala Adavalu Perebada.
Next up are characters. We obviously need the woman, who is the victim. To show her suffering, we need the husband and mother-in-law. And most importantly, we need a narrator who will read the lines of the poem from backstage. For the stage setting, we need to create a sad mood. So, a dimly lit, dark room is perfect. It shows there is no happiness there. Patralu katani nadipistayi, stage setting akatayoka bhavani benchitundi.
Now for the actual performance, the sequence of presentation. Let's start with the opening scene. Imagine this. The stage is dark. Soft, sad music begins to play. The woman enters the stage, walking very slowly, as if she is carrying a very heavy burden. As she walks, the narrator's voice begins to speak the first lines of the poem. Maradi Drishamlo, Badakaramina Sangitamto, Naraki Parangana Dustu, Stage Midaki Vastindi. Next is the middle scene. This is where we show the main conflict. The husband and mother-in-law enter. Remember, they don't have any dialogues. The husband shouts angrily with his expression, and the woman flinches in fear. The mother-in-law pushes her. The actions are more powerful than words here. They clearly show cruelty and suffering. Madhya Drishyamlo Matalu Undau. Kevalam Cheshtala Dwara Kruratwani Bhayanni Chupinchali.
And finally, the climax. The ending must be very powerful. The woman is lying on the floor, defeated. All the lights go off, and a single spotlight shines only on her face. At this very moment, the narrator's voice delivers the last powerful line. The music slowly fades to silence, and the curtain closes, leaving a strong emotional impact on the audience. Iyan thema drishyam, spotlight mayumonam to, prekshagola manasalo, gattiga mudra padali. Excellent. I hope that example made it very clear how to use the template. Now, before we wrap up, let's just quickly review some simple rules to remember, some very important do's and don'ts that will help you avoid mistakes and score full marks. Itburu menam sheausina panalu, cheakudani panalaguranchi telsukundam. Please pay close attention to this table. First, always do write your script in the present tense. Say she walks, not she walked. On the other side, don't just write a summary of the poem. You have to describe a performance. Next, do use a narrator, but don't write any dialogues for your characters. Their actions will do the talking. And finally, do mention things like lighting and music. They are very important for setting the mood.
Sarina markula kosam, present tense lo rayandi. Music gurinji chippandi. Kani dialogues matram rayakandi.
So if you remember only 3 things from today's entire lesson, please let it be these 3 golden rules. 1, remember the template. That structure is your key to full marks. 2, write in the present tense. It makes your performance feel alive. And 3, focus on action, music, and lights. This is what choreography is all about. Imuru suvarmanyamalu. Template gorthapintikandi. Present tense lo rayandi. Maru nadana sangita mira drushti petandi. And I will leave you with a final question to think about. Go through the poems in your textbook. Which other poem do you think would be great for a stage performance, and why? What is it about that poem, its story, its feelings, its images, that would make it powerful on stage? Mi pustakamloni Morocco poem ni stage mida pradarsan chaliente, e poem ni inokuntaru, induku? And that brings us to the end of our lesson today, students. I really hope you found this useful and that you feel much more confident now. All the very best for your exams. I know you can do it. మీ పరీక్షలకు all the best. మీరు సాధించగలరు. Thank you for your attention.
ధన్యవాదాలు.